Oh, there you are. Marvellous. Have you got your ticket? Come along then. We'll secure it. Vicar, feast your eyes and do who's here.
Good evening. Yes, welcome to the Little Witham Church Hall. Lovely to see you. Do you have your ticket for the banjo concert? No. Yes, right this way. Miss Binchley and Miss Renfrew will be more than happy to oblige.
Oh, yes, of course. Hello. Hello, how are you? Just one? Just one? Yes, one. Just get you some cheese. Have a wonderful time. Here, we'll have Miss Renfrew help you with this.
Oh, yes, here's a programme for you. Thank you so much for coming. Mr. Wooster, he's a wonderful, world-renowned banjoist, actually. I think you'll enjoy it quite well.
Hello.
Hello. Would you like a spot of tea? Maybe some cherry surprise?
Perhaps a biscuit.
Yes, it's Caroline's recipe.
They're
it's
wonderful.
Yes.
Sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and so on, thank you for coming along to support in such splendid numbers this highly, very, extremely, wonderfully worthwhile cause. I don't think you need reminding any of you what wonderful work is being done every day by the TGB&S. So I won't. But make no mistake, the need for them is as great as ever it was. Ever. So as we railway enthusiasts are wont to say, more steam to their pistons. I know they'd thank you for your support, as indeed they do, and for showing your support in supporting them with your magnificent support. And no one more so do we wish to be thanking than our guest tonight, Mr. Bertram Wooster. But before I introduce him to you, there are one or two people I do have to thank for making this evening possible. Firstly, a man who needs no introduction, Mr. Bernard Baisley, for allowing us the use of this splendid building. If he's here, could he stand up, please? Ah, yes, there he is, Bumpy Baisley, ladies and gentlemen. Secondly, the Mrs. Apley Whitchurch and Tentleshaw for their mouth-watering contribution to this evening's early proceedings. Mr. Dyson and Mr. Crockett for arranging the seating and for generally fetching and carrying. Our loyal lighting expert, Mr. Crabtree. Yes. Thank you. And I hope, Dennis, you've managed to put the incident with the extending ladder well behind you. Oh, if that isn't perhaps the wrong phrase to use in the unfortunate circumstances. And we mustn't forget our very special Miss Binchley, who, of course, organized the ticket sales. But enough from me. Just one more man to thank, without whom none of this would have been possible. Our producer, director, publicist, appeals organizer, and tonight's stage manager, the person who has masterminded this entire evening. Ladies and gentlemen, the man himself, Jeeves. And all that remains now is to introduce you to our soloist. Here now, together with a song and a smile, ladies and gentlemen, Bertie Wooster.
Ladies and gentlemen, Harold Stinker Pinker. And no messing.
Good grief.
Straight on with the show. Take it away, Ozzy. Who's the man you've all been sitting there anticipating? Who's the man with his Harold?
Sorry, Bertie. Just to say, someone I entirely forgot, ladies and gentlemen.
The car park attendant?
No. Ladies and gentlemen, accompanying Bertie Wooster this evening on the piano, Mr. Oswald Nutledge.
Yes, well, I think just about everyone's had a bow now. All the world's a stage, they say, and this evening practically all of them have put in an appearance. Thank you, Ozzy. Who's the man you've all been sitting there anticipating? Who's the man with his instrument ready, willing and waiting? Who's the man for whom your breath has been eagerly baiting? If I hadn't already confessed it, you'd no doubt already have guessed it. Banjo boy, play a number for me. Won't you play that melody? When you start to play in, Mama starts to swing. Hold it! Hold it! Excuse me one moment. Jeeves? Jeeves!
Sir?
What precisely is this, Jeeves?
That is a frying pan, sir.
What might be termed slightly less than adequate stage management, Jeeves. Where the blazes is my banjo?
I fear it has been stolen, sir.
Stolen?
Yes, sir.
My banjo?
Yes, sir.
Well, who on earth would want to steal it?
A music lover, perhaps?
Eh?
One possibly jealous of your own abilities, sir.
Oh. Well, what on earth are we going to do? There are row upon row of eager banjo lovers here.
I took the liberty of sending out for a fresh instrument. The shop is dispatching one immediately.
Splendid. How long will that take?
Oh, no more than 2 hours, sir.
2 hours?
The shop concerned is in Kent.
Kent?
Just this side, sir.
Please excuse us. What exactly do you suggest I do to entertain these good people for 2 hours?
Perhaps an anecdote or two, sir?
An anecdote or two? Jeeves, there's enough time for me to read them the entire works of Proust. Please excuse us. That is not a solution.
May I suggest that whilst we deliberate, sir, we ask Mr. Nutledge to entertain with a little mood music?
Very well, Jeeves. Though I should warn you, if Ozzy Nutledge is let loose on that piano for 2 hours, I am not going to be answerable for this audience's behavior. These are music lovers, Jeeves, not masked masochists.
Very good, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bertram Wooster.
Jeeves?
Sir?
Where are you going? Don't leave me here. What am I going to do?
Entertain, sir.
How on earth do I entertain them when I'm totally unbanjoed? Turn and run?
Just not done, bearing in mind the code.
You mean the Woosters? Time to break out those tap shoes? Twinkle those tootsies and hit the beat?
If you recall, sir, one snag.
I've 2 left feet, I do remember. Sing them a spot of opera?
I'd strongly oppose that choice.
Bad idea.
Wasted here.
Better to save the voice for smarter functions. How do I entertain them? Showbiz traditions upheld be blowed. You wouldn't see me for dust, but for that code. And yet, what would a chap do without it? How would he get through without it? How could he stay true without the code of the Woosters? If you're at sea, I shall be there, even put off tea to be there. Woosters of swum oceans for the code of allegiance, duly owed for the Wooster code. What a load! I appear to be in some quandary. Tell me, what is a chap to do? Walk high wire, swallow fire, Give them the old soft shoe, can't do that either. How do I entertain them?
Might I suggest that you reminisce?
And what precisely?
May I? Something like this. On the particular date in question, Mr. Wooster awoke from a troubled sleep, doubtless caused by certain events that had occurred the previous day, the main attraction being his appearance before the magistrate's bench. Presiding magistrate, Sir Watkin Bassett.
Watkin Bassett? He's not here, is he?
The role of Sir Watkin will be played on this occasion by Mr. Bernard Paisley.
What? Old Bumpy? Jolly good.
But let us for a moment examine in detail this appalling exhibition of lawless hooliganism displayed by the accused.
That's frightfully good, Bumpy.
Oh, thank you.
He's got old Bassett off to a T.
The constable in his evidence tells us that you first of all snatched, or rather struck, his helmet from his head, made off with it, and hurled his headgear into Trafalgar Square fountain. Is this possible?
I was testing it, my lord. I said something like that.
Testing it?
To see if it was waterproof.
Waterproof?
The helmet, my lord. It suddenly came to me like a blinding flash that if the police are expected to saunter around the streets in all weathers, rattling door handles, had anyone bothered to check whether the...
I shall now pass sentence, and I warn you, I intend to sentence you to the most severe penalty the law will allow. Augustus Finknottle, a name I may add I am strongly inclined to think is assumed or fictitious. Augustus Finknottle, I find you guilty of one of the most wretched examples of senseless vandalism it has ever been my misfortune.
And so on and so on. Thanks, Bumpy.
Oh, not at all, Bertie.
I'm still not certain this is going to work, Jeeves. Nonetheless, Woosters have died gladly for the code of, for that rugged, heavy load called the Wooster Code. Oh, what the heck? Yes, Wooster will entertain you, so let me allay your fears. Look at those rows and rows, some on the edge of tears. I couldn't do it. Wooster will entertain you, using the talents that God bestowed. No cause for panic, he'll stay true to his code. Now Wooster is geared for action. His talents will be revealed. All the flair of Fred Astaire, voice of a Gracie Field, if slightly deeper. Wooster, the wily wordsmith, weaving such wonders as you've not known. He'll keep his promise, he'll keep true to his code. No Wooster will entertain you, can always be sure of that. He'll prevail, should he fail. Bertram will eat his hat with bags of mustard. Wooster will entertain you. Watch out, the fireworks will soon explode. No need to worry, he'll stick true to his code. Don't leave the building, I'll stick true to my code. And so it was that I awoke on this morning in question, fresh from dreams of maniacal magistrates and amphibious policemen, and 10 quid lighter in pocket. What are you doing, Jeeves?
Attempting a little verisimilitude, sir.
Oh, what's this? Costumes as well?
A limited supply from the wardrobe store.
Splendid. They're certainly getting their money's worth. Whatever next? Scenery?
Mostly imagined or representational, sir.
Nonetheless, under the circumstances, good going.
Thank you, sir.
Despite the strong smell of mothballs. Anyway, onwards, Jeeves. What first occurred on this sunny morning in question?
Sunny afternoon, sir.
Already?
2:30 p.m.
Splendid.
First, I had to inform you that Miss Bing telephoned earlier, sir.
What? Again? What did she want this time?
She did not confide in me, sir. She merely laughed and hung up.
Laughed? That does not bode well, Jeeves. Contrary to the old saying, when Stiffy laughs, the rest of the world usually fails to see the funny side. What on earth was that, Jeeves?
An approximation of a doorbell, sir.
Oh, who is it?
I believe at this point in the narrative, Mr. Finknottle called.
Gussie? What did he want?
I will admit him, sir.
Oh, good idea. Apparently, at this point, enter Gussie, recluse and passionate student of pond life, with particular regard to newts.
Oh, hello, Jeeves.
Good afternoon, Mr. Finknottle.
What ho, Gus? Good Lord. I thought it was him for a minute. Wonderful, Crunchy. Absolutely spot on.
Oh, thanks.
They're all rallying around, aren't they, Jeeves? Gratifying, isn't it?
Indeed, sir.
A friend in need is a friend in...
Indeed, sir.
Indeed he is. Crunchy Crabtree, everyone.
Hello. Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Right. Oh, hello, Bertie. I just wanted... The fact is, I need a favor.
Anything at all. You know me, Crunchy. Gussie, come and sit down.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeeves. Now, Gussie, what can I do for you? Tell your Uncle Bertie.
I'll be blunt, Bertie. I'm in love.
Oh, I am sorry.
Oh, I've never been in love like this before, Bertie.
You'll get over it.
You've no idea how it feels.
No, on the whole, I've been very lucky.
She's just so
beautiful.
Yes.
Indescribable.
Yes.
Loving and tender.
Yes, yes.
Too good for this world.
That's her.
I know the sort.
If you'd met Madeline, if you'd met Madeline.
Yes, yes, of course.
Oh, trying to describe Madeline is like...
Hang on a tick.
What?
Madeline who?
Oh, Madeline Angel Bassett.
Bassett?
Madeline Bassett.
Madeline Bassett?
Oh, Madeline Bassett. It's like music, isn't it?
It's like chalk on a blackboard. Madeline, daughter of Sir Watkin Bassett, magistrate of no fixed sentence.
Yes, the same one you gave my name to when you...
Yes, I've apologized for that. Yours was the first name that came into my head. I've said I'm very sorry. Heavens, I sent you a whole case of Bollinger, didn't I?
I don't even drink.
Nonetheless, it was one heck of a thought. Now, come along. Good grief. Madeline Bassett, sit down. This is serious.
Of course it's serious. I want to marry her.
I staggered back, appalled. Gussie, you can't be serious.
I love her, Bertie. There's no need to sneer and stagger about. Not everyone's like you.
No, but they can strive to be.
Oh, my problem is well, it's me. I'm my own worst problem. I'm a coward. I'm terrified to ask her. I can't even get the words out.
A ray of hope.
Oh, and when they do come out, they're in the wrong order. It's the same with her father, Sir Watkin Bassett.
Well, hardly surprising, that.
But you see, the thing is, I'm going to Totley Towers this weekend. Madeline's invited me there. Oh, it's this weekend or never, Bertie. If I don't ask her and tackle Sir Watkin, I'll lose her forever. So, this is the plan. As soon as old Bassett arrives, I want you to pretend...
As soon as old who arrives?
Bassett. That's who we're talking about, aren't we?
Arrives where? Here? What on earth made him want to come here?
I asked him.
To my flat?
I'm afraid so. Only he doesn't know it's your flat, of course.
Well, whose flat does he think it is?
Mine.
Yours?
Well, I had to tell him somewhere. He said he was going to pick me up in his car and run me down to Totley. I mean, I couldn't very well tell him I haven't got a London address, except for the Drones Club, care of. And this is a very nice address.
It was. The tone of the neighborhood is dropping minute by minute. Anyway, my name's on the doorbell. How are you going to explain that?
No, my name's on the doorbell.
Your name?
I told him I was Bertram Wooster.
That you were... You... My knees all but gave way beneath me. I cannot believe I am hearing this.
Do get up, Bertie. Be reasonable. You gave him my name in court. I can't use that anymore, thanks to you. Oh, he's bound to remember the name, if not the face. Madeline says he's got a memory like an oyster. Oh. Fair's fair. You pinched my name. I've pinched yours, temporarily.
I am flabbergasted, axed as by a pole.
But he's merely going to pick me up here and off we'll go. It'll only be for a few days. It's a perfect, foolproof scheme. Madeline thought of it.
Madeline? whose last original idea was that every time a fairy blows its nose, a baby's born?
The point is, once he sees what a decent sort I am, I'll reveal myself as the real Augustus Fink Nottle.
And who will I be when he arrives?
Who he thinks you are, Augustus Fink Nottle.
I'm sorry, I refuse to be someone else in my own house.
Oh, all right then. Hide. You don't mind hiding, do you?
I certainly do.
No, suit yourself. It's too late to do anything now. He's coming and he thinks I'm you, so there.
Are you hearing all this, Jeeves?
I gather the gist, sir.
Jeeves, I am shattered by the fickleness of friends.
Friendship is constant in all other things save in the office and affairs of love. Might I suggest, sir, if we are to proceed with the deception that the flat belongs to Mr. Fink Nottle, we might achieve greater verisimilitude were he to remove his hat and coat.
Good thinking!
Look, I have not yet agreed.
Oh, come on, Bertie, it isn't much to ask.
I shall have to consider. Jeeves,
Sir?
hold everything while the young master considers.
Very good, sir.
Who can that be?
Sir Watkin Bassett, I believe, sir.
Oh, good grief, right, yes.
Let him in, Jeeves!
Very good,
Oh,
sir.
no, wait, hang on a tick, do.
What do I do with this?
Give it here.
Ah, Mr. Wooster.
Ah, Sir Watkin, in come do.
Thank you. What a delightful flat.
Thank you.
I had no idea. No idea. Delightful.
Ah, well, you know, humble but hum.
I beg your pardon?
Please.
Oh.
I trust you are not too uncomfortable, sir.
I am extremely uncomfortable, Jeeves. Kindly get rid of them.
Yes, sir.
Have you lived here long, Mr. Wooster?
No, I have bigger moved previously away here. Elsewhere, before, much. Only with circumstances, after all, it made no sense whatsoever. None at all.
I'm sorry?
Not it.
Would it be in order for me to serve some refreshment, sir?
Oh, rather, yes.
No, my man. Not for me. I shall be driving.
Sir?
No, I shall be passengering.
You don't drink, Mr. Wooster.
Never in life at all.
Admirable, admirable.
Jeeves!
Sir?
Bassett or no Bassett, I am about to narrate myself out of this position before I suffocate.
I believe the opportunity for you to do so will arise shortly, sir.
It had better, Jeeves. A human hat stand is no role for our hero.
What was your man doing there? He appeared to be conversing with that coat stand.
Ah, well, he's psychical slightly.
Just a minute. Aren't those feet?
Feet.
There at the bottom of the coat stand. Look! Quite clearly.
Shoes, those are.
Shoes, yes, but they have feet in them. Quite distinct feet. Whose feet are they?
Not mine.
Come out! Come out of there! You in the coat stand, we can see you. Come out at once.
Ah, hello there.
Good heavens.
How do you do?
What were you doing under those coats? Explain yourself at once.
Well, that's interesting.
You were trying to steal them, weren't you?
Certainly not.
Do you know this man, Wooster?
Yes, he does.
Well, who is he? What's he doing here? Just a moment. I've seen your face before.
No.
Very recently, yes. You've been up before me at the bench, surely, I'm almost certain. Bag snatching, that was it?
Bag snatching?
Called yourself ink bottle, Fink bottle?
Nottle.
Nottle, yes. Augustus Fink Nottle.
No, wrong chap.
A
Jeeves.
small step from bag snatching to coat stealing. Somebody call the police. Call the police, Mr.
Oh, no,
Wooster.
that's quite all right. Don't bother. Jeeves, that's quite all right. I'll just toddle along. Don't mind me. Jeeves.
Ah, Mr. Fink Nottle, sir. I'd no idea you were still here. I thought you'd left.
Well, I was hardly here. I was just looking for my coat. Ah, yes, here we are.
That's my coat! What are you doing, putting on my coat?
Oh, so sorry. Slip of the tongue. Here you are.
Give that to me at once.
Frightfully sorry. My mistake. Sorry must dash.
You must be more careful, Mr. Wooster. This is obviously some new racket. Posing as a coat stand and making off with innocent people's clothing. Be very careful whom you admit in future, my man.
I can assure you, sir, he is a regular visitor of Mr. Wooster's. Harmless, if a trifle eccentric.
Really?
Oh, yes. Not even harm. He wouldn't flies, no.
Well, I'll take your word for it. But I should warn you, he does have a criminal record. Personally, I'd lock up my silvers straight away.
If you will permit me for a moment to resume the narration. Having resolved the matter more or less satisfactorily, I prepared to see them out.
Are you ready, Wooster?
Oh, yes.
Then we'll away to Totley, shall we?
Right.
Madeline, I know, is anxious to see you.
She is. Oh, very marvelously.
At this point, I proceeded with my routine domestic duties.
Jeeves. Jeeves.
My daily routine was an ordered one.
Jeeves.
Excuse me. Sir?
What's going on in there, Jeeves?
I'm continuing the storyline, sir.
But I'm out here.
Welcome back, sir.
I don't believe any of this happened, Jeeves. Someone has been tampering with the fabric of this tale, if you ask me.
Surely not, sir.
I want no further unwelcome developments or sudden twists of fate. Is that understood? A slackening of tempo is decidedly called for.
Certainly, sir. Mr. Wooster commenced reading the morning paper. It was some 15 minutes later that his attention was drawn to an item under the heading Forthcoming Marriages. I quote, "The engagement is announced between Bertram Wilberforce Wooster of Berkeley Mansions W1 and Stephanie, daughter of the late Sir George and Mary Byng of Brighton Hall."
Jeeves.
Sir?
Read that. I cannot believe what I am reading. Read that. Can this be true?
That is what is stated here, sir.
Not only was the news a shock to me, but Stiffy was the ward of our old friend Watkin Bassett. You can imagine the reception that this announcement would get from that quarter, or from other quarters. Honoria Glossop to name but several. But more of her anon. This announcement seemed at first the warped work of Bingo Little.
I think we would do better to suspect that it is the work of Miss Byng herself, sir.
You think so?
I suspect so. She may be trying to attract your attention.
In that she has succeeded. Well, there's nothing for it, Jeeves.
To Totley Towers, sir?
I fear so. A flying visit for all of 10 seconds.
In that case, sir, may I suggest...
By all means, Jeeves, suggest away.
May I suggest that if you intend visiting Totley Towers, you would do well to assume the nom de plume Augustus Fink-Nottle.
Ah, good point. Mr. Wooster being...
Being already on his way there in the company of Sir Watkin.
I'm beginning not to like the sound of this plot, Jeeves. I will be gone but a trice, speaking to no one but Stiffy. Wait here. Hold the fort. Don't move. And go and fetch the car immediately.
Certainly.
Car? Is that a problem, Jeeves? Are the stage management up to the challenge?
Indeed they are, sir.
Is that it?
Yes, sir. Under the circumstances.
No expense spared, eh?
Needs must when the devil drives, sir.
Possibly, Jeeves. Though I doubt even he'd fancy his chances in this thing.
Sir?
Ah! Well... This doesn't look silly at all, does it?
Oh, no, sir.
It just doesn't feel quite convincing.
Perhaps an engine noise would help, sir.
Oh, yes, an engine noise. That'd do the trick. Splendid. Have we got one?
I thought it might come from you, sir.
From me?
Yes, sir.
An engine noise from me?
Precisely.
Sort of a... brum, 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 that sort of thing?
Excellent, sir.
Brum, 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 brum. It doesn't sound silly, does it?
I can assure you, sir, were I to turn my back and close my eyes...
Ah, well, I'll be guided by you, Jeeves, this once. To continue our narrative, I started up the motor and set off in a generally westerly direction. Jeeves?
The engine, sir. Don't forget the engine noise.
Oh, no, right. Thank you, Jeeves. Brum, 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 and I set off in the general direction of brum, 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 Totley Towers, brum, 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 taking the A2. Brum, brum, brum. No, hang on. This isn't working at all, Jeeves. A chap can't be expected to do his own sound effects as well as bearing the brunt of the narrative. It's just not on.
In that case, sir, may I suggest that whilst you provide the admirable engine sounds, I continue with the narration.
That would be a lot simpler, I must say.
Very good, sir. To continue. Mr. Wooster made excellent time and had soon left the London suburbs behind him and was on the main Dorset Road by 3:30 p.m. The weather was seasonally pleasant, and Mr. Wooster felt a lightness of spirit as he passed through some glorious countryside.
Just a minute, this is no earthly good either.
Sir?
From leading man, I've now been recast as a full supporting sound effect. And I can assure you, Jeeves, that these good people did not turn out in their thousands, hundreds, in their tens, to have yours truly cast in the role of second piston. Now, enough is enough.
I apologize, sir.
We will imagine the car engine, Jeeves. We are already imagining the running boards, the wheels, the seats, the interior, and the entire outer chassis. What an engine. Ozzy, please, some music, if you will, suitable for a motoring narrative. Ah, thank you. That's much better. I've invariably found that feet kept on the ground allow the grass to grow. Oh, this is really rather splendid once you get the hang of it. Check. Your mirrors front and rear slip smoothly into gear, then hit the road and go. Feel the piston steady beat, the camshaft neath your feet, that big end start to fly.
May I advise a modicum of caution, sir?
He who hesitates is lost. Burn bridges once they're crossed. Don't stop to say goodbye.
There is a blind corner approaching, sir.
My philosophy's to travel hopefully and making each day that I survive an opportunity to share the company that welcomes me when I arrive. Hark! The missile thrushes cry, the hedgerows rushing by, the curlew on the wing.
That is a crow, sir.
List some distant church's bells, midst bracing country smells, those fields of golden thing.
Corn, sir.
My philosophy's to travel hopefully and making each day that I survive an opportunity to share the company that welcomes me when I arrive. Travel's broadened out my mind until today you'll find
the widest head I know.
Thank you, Jeeves. You did say wisest, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Every traveler I meet, I'll always stop to greet.
Be careful how you go, sir.
My philosophy's to travel hopefully and making each day that I survive an opportunity to share the company that welcomes me when I arrive.
So intent was Mr. Wooster upon savouring the delights of the journey.
Travel hopefully with me, and I will guarantee there'll be no pause for doubt.
But he failed to notice a solitary hitchhiker.
Hit the nearest country track, no time for looking back. Look onward and look out! Jeeves, have I hit something?
I fear so, sir.
A sheep?
No, sir.
A duck?
A person, sir.
Oh, Lord, one of those. I'd better have a look. I don't remember this bit.
I understand that the third party does, sir.
Ah, I say, hello. Are you all right?
My legs, they've gone.
No, they're both still there.
I think they're broken.
Really? That's a bit awkward. I'm not quite sure what to do about that. I should think you need splints. I'm afraid I don't carry splints. Sorry.
Perhaps you could lift me into your car?
Oh, yes, righto. Here, let me...
As Mr. Wooster turned the stranger over onto his back, he let out a gasp of surprise.
Why did I do that, Jeeves?
The stranger turned out to be none other than one of Mr. Wooster's oldest friends.
Buddy Wooster!
Hello! Oldest friend! Who is he?
Mr. Bingo Little, sir.
Bingo!
I thought
Goda, I recognize that voice. How are you, and what are you doing here?
Oh, I'm just on my way to... You can walk.
Not if I can help it. Not a step farther. Give us a lift, there's a good chap.
Oh, hop in. I thought I'd run you over. What on earth are you doing pacing the open road?
Oh, I'm on this ghastly charity jaunt, hiking for hedgehogs.
I beg your pardon?
Well, apparently these wretched hedgehogs insist on crossing the road to breed. And they're getting mown down in their thousands, and these people are raising money to build them a tunnel.
Good heavens! Is that your new passion, then?
No. If they insist on crossing the roads without looking both ways, that's their lookout. I don't give a damn either way.
Then why?
I'm doing it for someone who does give a damn.
Who?
Honoria.
Honoria? Honoria?
Oh, keep saying it. Honoria.
Honoria Glossop?
Do you know her?
There can't possibly be two.
Do you know Honoria?
Yes, formerly. We were both... You know.
Now, you were both what?
Engaged.
Engaged?
Oh, years ago, not anymore. She chucked me over, I'm delighted to say. Oh, terrific woman, mind you. Bags of what it takes, but not my type.
Are you sure?
Oh, yes, absolutely positive. She's all yours, Bingo.
Oh, I wish I could say she was.
Oh, not running smoothly?
Well, she thinks I think she thinks I'm a bit hopeless.
She never struck me as that shrewd.
She chucked you over. She can't be that stupid. No, well, you know Honoria. She's so physically magnificent, isn't she?
Oh, rather. Looks good at the weigh-in.
Whereas I'm not so physically
magnificent.
If you want to put it like that. So I've been trying to impress her.
By walking for hedgehogs?
Well, we set out together. Me, Honoria, the whole field of about 200 walkers. Only
200? Where are the others?
Well, they're somewhere along the road there. About 5 miles ahead by now.
And where's Honoria?
About 10 miles ahead, probably. I couldn't take it, Bertie. I got this ghastly stitch about 500 yards after we'd started. I pretended to have something in my shoe. Carry on, I said. I'll catch you up. Oh, yeah. Now look at me.
Well, don't worry. I'll give you a lift. We'll catch them up in no time.
But what if she sees me? I can't accept lifts. She'll know I've cheated.
We'll avoid her. I know every highway and byway round here. Every nook and lay-by like the back of my hand. We'll cut round ahead of them, and then you can hide till they catch you up.
Okay, if you're sure.
Trust Wooster. Hop in and enjoy the ride.
Every highway and byway, eh?
Yes.
Every nook and lay-by.
We can't be far away.
Far away from what?
Somewhere.
What are you talking about? We're miles from anywhere. Oh, no.
What?
It's Honoria up ahead there. It's Honoria. What am I going to do?
All right. Don't panic. She hasn't seen you yet.
She's coming this way.
Get in the back, quick! Crouch down in the back. Ah, look! Conveniently, a rug. Crouch down and I'll cover you up.
What if
She won't. Trust Wooster. Hello!
Hello! Hello! I wonder if you could possibly give me, Bertram? Bertram Wooster!
Honoria, heavens!
What a nice surprise! What are you doing here?
Oh, just on my way to Totley.
Totley? That's where I'm staying. Just been there, did you say?
No, I'm just going there.
Well, you're pointing the wrong way, you chump.
Really? Oh, fancy.
Mind if I catch a lift?
Oh, no, please do. Here, let me help you with your, Oh.
Hang on, old weedy. Let me. Sling it in the back, shall I?
Absolutely. No!
What on earth was that?
Suspension. Old cars, you know.
Sounded like a chicken. Shouldn't be doing this. Cheating, really. Should be walking. We're doing this hedgehog walk. Wonderful cause. Have you heard about it?
Oh, yes, famous.
Only I seem to have lost my partner. Seems he may have turned out a bit of a weed. He was somewhere back, so I thought I'd wait for him. Took off my boots to rest my feet. Swished the toes in the long grass.
Sounds a joy.
And guess what? I went and trod on a hedgehog.
Oh, dear. Poor little thing.
Oh, Bertram. That's so sweet of you to care. I'm all right, really. Just a few spines. Better get it checked, I suppose. Tell you what, could you drop me off at the cottage hospital? It's on your way. Turn her round. I'll direct you. You always were a bit hopeless, weren't you, Bertram? I think that's why I fell in love with you.
Ha, 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 ha.
It's also the reason you finally drove me utterly bonkers, but it is good to see you again. It's as if fate had meant it.
Yes, it probably did, knowing fate.
Oh, look!
Where? Whoops!
Keep your eyes on the road, Bertie.
Sorry, these boxes. Not awfully good on road holding.
Did you see that couple there?
Can't say I did.
Standing by the tree.
Really? Was it raining?
That was nearly us back there.
Don't quite follow.
Nearly you and me.
Oh, yes, I see.
Bertie, you've been badly neglected. You need a wife who'll correct it. The secret with men, of course, is to treat them a bit like horses. Did you see those lovers there?
No, I think they were pheasants, actually.
Even you could see.
Oh, lovers. I thought you said plovers, sorry.
Oh, so nearly us back there.
Really? Nearly ran them over then.
Nearly you and me.
Oh, appeared to be running out of cardboard.
Could it be we took some wrong turning? Is this a lesson worth learning? Can't you see that couple there could well have been you and me?
Humpback Bridge!
That was nearly us back there. Wouldn't you concur?
Hairpin band, hang on!
He was so like you back there. I could have been her.
No, I think they were both very much shorter.
Here you are so vital, attractive. Would that your brain was as active. You're nobody's intellectual. You hot-blooded heterosexual.
Oh, now,
Was
simmer
it
down.
really lucky chance brought us here today. Victims both of circumstance, meeting you this way. It's as though our lives had been frozen back on the path we'd both chosen, giving us a fleeting glimpse of all that was meant to be. That was surely us back there. It's as clear as day. If we both kept faith back there hadn't lost our way.
Oh, nearly there. Here's the village.
What if we defied a dull convention, stood up to shelter intention?
Steady.
Ever we followed our heart's volition and shared our last inhibition.
Here we are at last.
That's our future life back there.
Cheerio, then.
Bertie, can't you see?
You'd better hop in there, smartish.
That was meant for us back there.
You don't want to get gangrene.
Of a man to be. Time we took the plainer facts and faced them, turned in our tracks and retraced them. Back to when that couple there so clearly were you and me.
Oh, Lord. Lord.
You swine, Bertie!
Sorry?
You complete and utter... Words fail me. Have you no feelings? No!
I'm not quite with you.
That was the woman I love! And now you are. You're just openly flirting with her. You're seducing her. If I hadn't had that wretched rucksack on my head, I'd have knocked you down then and there. When you knew that I was in the back there. God, you're a cold man, Wooster.
What are you talking about, seducing her? I barely said a word to the woman.
Oh, there are other ways. There are secret signs and smirks and signals.
I had my hands on the wheel, my feet on the pedals, and my eyes on the road. So unless I was being extremely inventive with my ears, I can't imagine how I managed that.
Is Honoria still in love with you, do you think?
Oh, I hope not, for both our sakes.
I knew it.
Oh,
I
come
knew
on,
it.
don't start crying.
I'm the only woman that I have ever loved. I knew it. Don't you! I'll never forgive you for this, Bertie. Never.
A nightmare journey, Jeeves.
I imagine it was, sir. I was still in London, of course.
And where was I? Oh, yes, parking the car at the bottom of the drive. I stole through a gap in the hedge and entered the grounds of Totley Towers. Oh, good Lord.
A gramophone record, sir.
Splendid. I can smell the lawn. Gathering my bearings, the very first thing I did was to... What was the very first thing I did, Jeeves?
The first thing you did, sir, was narrowly to avoid Miss Bassett.
Madeline? She was here?
Heading this way, sir.
And I hid?
You did, sir.
Where? Where? There's nowhere to hide. Props! Quickly! Props!
It's immaterial, sir, since Miss Bassett was... somewhat overcome.
This is all starting to come back to me, Jeeves. And I don't like it one little bit. If I'm not mistaken, the second thing that happened...
The second thing that happened, sir, was that you ran into Mr. Budge.
Cyrus Budge?
Yes, sir.
Junior?
Yes, sir.
The third?
The self-same, sir. And behold, here he comes.
Oh, surely we can leave him out of...
What did I say? What did I say? Maddie! Hey, Maddie! Oh. Hi.
Ah.
Cyrus Budge. Hi.
Hello, Bertram Wooster. No, sorry, rather I'm not Bertram Wooster.
You're Bertram Wooster?
Sometimes.
Yes? And sometimes William Shakespeare, eh? And I'm occasionally Mark Twain. Cyrus Budge. I'm happy to meet you, Wooster. Say, is that Wooster as in Worcestershire sauce?
No, more like Wooster as in chicken.
Chicken. Yeah. I heard you were staying here. You drove down with Pop Bassett, right?
Yes, so I did. One of me did.
He told me he was bringing you down. I would have been here to greet you, only I've been taking part in this run.
Run?
Yes, the Hedgehog Run. You hear about that?
Oh, yes. I thought it was a walk.
A walk?
So I understood, a 20-mile walk.
Oh, heck! I ran it! Isn't that typical? I couldn't figure why there was no one else in the race. No one at the finish line, so I came on home. Just gonna play some tennis. You want to join us?
No, I'm afraid I've got one or two things that I really must...
Sure. Good to meet you, Wooster. Say, isn't she something? Madeline? The girl who just ran by, isn't she sensational? I saw her for the first time this morning. I fell in love straight away. How about that? She's just so
beautiful,
yes,
indescribable,
yes,
loving and tender.
Yes, all
too
that.
Good for this world.
That's her. You know her then?
Very, very barely.
The trouble is, she's in love with this other guy, Fink Nuttall. You know him?
No.
One of the maids told me. He's some kind of criminal, apparently. That was the cause of the row just now. I just said to Maddie, if I ever meet him, I'd break his neck. Kind of upset her.
Ah, well, these English girls, very sensitive.
And that's why we love them, eh? What line you in?
Line? Well...
Buying and selling?
No more coming and going, really.
Yeah. Me? I'm in jelly.
Jelly?
My old man, he owns the largest jelly plant in the whole United States.
Gosh.
That's why I'm over here. I am here to push jelly, Wooster. I hear the British are big jelly consumers. Is that right?
Oh, yes, you bet. A spot of cream, a cold custard.
Custard. Oh, no. My mistake. Correction, that's Jell-O. I'm talking about, what do you call them here? Preserves? Jam. That's it.
Ah, jam. Well, now you're talking.
You fond of jam, Wooster?
Oh, yes. Come tea time, stands the church clock at 10 to 3, and is there jam, and so on, for tea.
You know how many jars we sell each year?
Couldn't hazard a guess.
27 million.
Wow.
Jars.
Woo.
And the biggest selling flavor? Care to guess at that?
Prune?
Prune? We didn't even make prune.
Ah, well, can't help you, I'm afraid.
Would it be a clue if I told you it wasn't strawberry?
Well, look now, I've just seen the time. I'm sorry. I'd love to hang around and natter jam with you all day, but
sure.
I really...
Get me going on jelly and... See you at tea time?
Oh, probably not. I have to go and look at a wall.
A wall? Sure. See you around.
Absolutely. I made a mental note to warn Gussie when I next saw him that another item looming on his troubled horizon was a potential rival in the shape of one jelly magnet, Cyrus Budge. Junior or senior, if it came to trial by brute force, I had no doubt where I was putting my money.
Oh, there you are, at last.
Miss Bing, sir. Stiffy, the very person. I want a word with you.
At last? What does one have to do to get you down here?
I want a strong word.
Come on, follow me.
Where are we going?
Somewhere that isn't quite such a public highway. Through here.
What's this?
The maze. Nobody ever comes in here. Follow on.
Do you know your way round it?
Yes, of course. Used to spend hours in here when I was a kid. Only sure way to get away from Madeline. She never followed me in here. She was far too scared.
Yes, all right, this is deep enough. Now listen. What I have to say to you, Stiffy, can be said very briefly. I do not take kindly to having our engagement announced in the Times. I have never proposed to you, and I don't intend to.
Save your breath. There's someone else anyway.
Who?
Harold Pinker.
Stinker?
Don't call him that. His name is Harold.
Then, if you're engaged to Stinker, why announce you're engaged to me?
I'm not engaged to Harold, but I want to be. I have to be. Only Uncle Watkin, he doesn't think Harold is suitable.
What's old Bassett got against Stinker?
I don't know. He says Harold's got no money and he breaks everything.
Well, he's absolutely right, of course. Stinker's a one-man tornado.
He's not. He's just shy, and when he gets shy, he gets...
destructive.
Accidentally destructive. And if I can't marry him, something else will get broken. Only this time, it will be my heart. Oh, he's just so...
Beautiful, indescribable, loving, intended, too good for this world. Well, I'm awfully happy for you both, Stiffy. I really am. I wish you the best of luck, and kindly leave me out of it.
We need your help, Harold and I. We have a plan.
Then you should have asked me properly instead of announcing our engagement, for heaven's sake.
But how else was I to get you here? You ignored all my phone calls and my telegrams.
Because I know you only too well, Stiffy. Well, enough to give you a very wide berth when you're hatching stupid plans. I'm sorry, I'm going. Goodbye, he said firmly.
You'll be sorry if you do, Bertie.
Not half as sorry as if I stick around here.
You know me, Bertie. I could be so
grateful. Really, really grateful. A good friend forever. Wouldn't that be nice?
I'm not too sure.
You don't want me to be an enemy, surely, Bertie? I could be such an awful enemy. I don't think you'd want that. Not really. Would you? Would you? Deep in love's maze, there my heart strays, caught in a flurry of worry and doubt. Down love's pathways, there my heart plays, whispering secrets it's longing to shout. All I need's a sympathetic friend to help me find a way to leap. Love's maze is a magical labyrinth, close paths hidden far from gaze. Love's maze is for lovers in jeopardy, lost there in a rainbow haze. Won't you save me? Please assist me. Help me decipher its intricate ways. Love has touched me, love has kissed me, holding me prisoner deep in this maze.
Well, you can't blame me. Cupid never pays. You'll saunter around for days inside
Love's maze is a mystical wonderland, conceals what the heart conveys. Love's maze is a puzzle in paradise, misleads all the eye surveys.
I did warn you. I have sworn to steer a wide berth, for I know to my cost it's predicted, self-inflicted. People in mazes do tend to get lost.
All I need's a very special friend to rescue me from here inside.
Love's maze is a crazy kaleidoscope, all roads leading different ways. Love's maze like a swaying calliope, one dance where the piper pays. Love's maze is a hatter's mad party time, one feast lasting nights and days. Love's maze is a pirate spectacular, bright skies as the bonfires blaze. All praises we dance in its corridors, all part of these grand displays. Behold every lover who's ever born, all lost in their own love's maze. All I need's a little help from you.
You'll never drag me there inside.
Love's maze is a crazy kaleidoscope, all roads leading different ways. Love's maze like a swaying calliope, one dance where the piper pays. Love's maze is a hatter's mad party time, one feast lasting nights and days. Love's maze is a pirate spectacular, bright skies as the bonfires blaze. Love's maze, lost there in a rainbow haze. All praise as we dance in its corridors, all part of its grand displays. Behold every lover who's ever born, all lost in their own love's haze.
I'm sorry, Stiffy. Once a Wooster's made up his mind, that's it, I'm afraid. Sorry.
I must remember to make sure Uncle Watkin reads his Times this evening. He always sits down with it after dinner.
Doesn't matter to me. He thinks I'm Augustus Thinknottle anyway.
But earlier this afternoon, Uncle Watkin came down with someone he believed to be you. Someone whom Madeline greeted as Bertie Wooster, though it obviously wasn't you.
You didn't say anything, did you?
Oh, nothing to do with me. Madeline plays her own silly games. Oh, but who was that person, Bertie? Was that the real Mr. Thinknottle?
Yes, Gussie.
Well, he's not going to be very popular with Uncle Watkin, is he? Bertie Wooster coming down and asking to marry his daughter, when all the time he's apparently engaged to me. Oh, that's going to get your friend into dreadfully hot water when Uncle Watkin reads about it this evening. Oh, still, nothing to do with you, is it, Bertie? No, you go back to town. Leave your friend to face the music.
You're appalling, Stiffy. You're absolutely the final straw on the camel's back in the last ditch. Well, what do you want me to do then?
I want you to stay here and think about it. I'll be back later with Harold. We'll tell you our plan. Wait there, Bertie. See you later.
Oh, Stiffy, Stiffy, you can't leave me in here. Stiffy, how do I get out? Which way's the out?
Bye! Bye, Bertie!
It took me several minutes to find my way out of the maze. Yes, what is it, Jeeves?
To be strictly accurate, it took you several hours.
Oh, well, minutes, hours, Jeeves, what's the difference? Stage license. Very well, it took me several hours to find my way out of the maze. What time did I get out, for heaven's sake?
9:30, sir.